This is a podcast of 98FM's Dublin Talks. Remember, catch the show live Monday to Friday at 10 a.m.
98FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
98FM.
Now, right at this moment, there is a big disagreement going on in the city centre over a Dubs banner that has been placed on one of our most famous bridges. The Up the Dubs banner, which can be seen draped across the Halfpenny Bridge at the moment, is to be reviewed by the City Council, and several people have been speaking out about it, and against it, should I say, calling it an eyesore and saying that it has no place on a public monument like the Halfpenny Bridge. It's fitted to either side of the bridge and covers the railings end to end. Now, it's believed that the banner was erected for the Dubs appearance in the league final against Galway last Sunday, and it's supposed to have come down by now. However, it's still there over a week after the match. Now, one group on Taoiseach says the iconic and protected Halfpenny Bridge should not be concealed, never mind defaced, with any form of promotional material. Our reporter, Paul Quinn, went out and about down to the Halfpenny Bridge to find out what people thought of the banner on the bridge. Here's what they had to say.
She can't be doing that in this country anymore.
Just a bit of banter. Like it's not destructing the bridge, is it? Not taking lumps over.
It's a bit of a celebration for the Dubs, you know what I mean? Like, they're showing their culture. That's it, like, you know.
It's not like they're changing the structural integrity of the Halfpenny Bridge. I think it's fine. I think it'll come back down and the Halfpenny Bridge will still be there.
I don't see any problem with it at all, no, definitely not. As Rob said, there's no change to the structural integrity of the bridge or anything like that. It goes up for a short period of time and comes down. I agree with it.
I'm a Galwegian and they put up a big up Galway over the supermarkets in Eyre Square, and there was a kerfuffle over that, but again, I see no issue with it.
Well, I can see both points of it, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a big day for the Dubs. It's a celebration, like, you know. But I can also see the other end of it, like if tourists are here that you want to take photographs of the structure as well. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest with you.
Probably makes it look nicer.
Puts a bit of colour into it.
I know the Dubs.
All right, that was earlier on today, talking to people about the Dubs banner on the Halfpenny Bridge. Now, Independent Councillor Mannix Flynn joins me on the line. Mannix, you're not happy at all, even though, as you could hear from many of those people on the street, they don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, most people, as I say, like pass by the bridge, you know what I mean, and they don't notice really what the issues are on that bridge. This has been going on for quite some time. And I'd like to say at the outset, this is not about the Dubs. It's not about the GAA, and it's not about the Dublin team. This is about an advertising banner being placed inappropriately on a national monument. It's wrong.
Well, it's not an advertising banner per se, Mannix, and it's not advertising Heinz beans.
No, it's advertising. It's an advertising banner, okay? And the issue about the Dubs is not the issue here. The issue is that a plastic banner is strewn right across an iconic bridge, which is a symbol of Dublin, and basically makes the bridge invisible. And while it doesn't interfere with the structure of the bridge, it certainly interferes with the integrity of the bridge as a cultural icon within the city. And it's absolutely wrong. You could put a similar banner like that on Liberty Hall, or you could even put a similar banner like that on civic offices where plenty of people could see it. But to simply put it on a national monument like that without any regard whatsoever, and it's tacky plastic nonsense, and it should be stopped. It's outrageous what they're doing here. And as I say, to tie the Dubs in on top of this is to bring disregard and disrespect to the Dubs team. They don't want to
how is it disregarding the Dubs team? Surely it is great for a city to get behind its amazing team.
Listen, we already know that the Dubs are behind the Dubs and behind the team. We don't need a tacky banner across the Halfpenny Bridge to bring the teams into disrepute. The teams didn't put this here. The GAA didn't put this here. Dublin City Council put this here.
And Mannix have done so several times over the last 5 or 6 years.
Absolutely, and Dublin City Council have been asked on many occasions to take it down. On this occasion, it was a step too far. The banner lay up onto the bridge for quite some time. On Taoiseach, also Dublin Civic Trust objected look into this situation. And if we don't do this, well, then we might as well actually just disregard all our national structures and all our protected structures and all our national...
Okay, now, my understanding is that the banner was to have come down by now. The league final was over a week ago. Are you saying that you don't want banners like this appearing on the Halfpenny Bridge ever again?
Absolutely, 100%.
Even if Dublin make it to the All-Ireland final again this year?
If Dublin make it to the All-Ireland final, there's banners all up along the Liffey, there's flags flying up all along the Liffey, there's huge cupboards on the national radio and television, there's plenty of places to put such banners within public view, like Liberty Hall, or even like
Okay, but not the Halfpenny Bridge. I'm also joined on the line by independent councillor Christy Burke. Christy, you've heard what Mannix had to say, that let's support the Dubs by all means, but not use a national monument like the Halfpenny Bridge to display a banner like this.
Well, thanks, Adrian. Look, at the end of the day, the Dublin supporters this morning on the Hill 16 page are very upset that there's complaints about the banner. The banner is doing no harm. We all respect the integrity of the bridge, and we know how iconic it is. And, if you look at O'Connell Bridge, there's people on it every day taking photographs of up the Dubs. At the end of the day, there's more important issues out there. There's people waiting on appointments this morning in hospitals, waiting on operations. There's people looking for homes. There's people housing in the housing department today trying to get homes, and homeless personnel. I'm a Dublin supporter.
No, obviously, sorry, Christy, obviously there are more important things to deal with, but this is an issue for some people. They believe that using a structure like the Halfpenny Bridge is not appropriate. And, we have tourists in the city, they want to take photographs of the Halfpenny Bridge, and all they're doing is taking a photograph of a glorified advert.
Well, look, it's up to Dubs, and, we need to support our teams. We've been... this is our fourth year going into an All-Ireland, hopefully, and it's doing no harm. You heard your box pop there earlier on. Let's get on with it. Let's leave it up to Dubs. I know the Hill 16 page this morning are looking for a banner on every bridge if we reach the All-Ireland. And I've had numerous people on to me this morning, and indeed last week in Croke Park at the Dublin-Galway game, people were saying, well done to the City Council, great job on the Halfpenny Bridge. So I haven't heard anybody complain, apart from Natasha and Councillor Flynn. Like, if you put a plebiscite out there, Adrian, I guarantee you that it would come back, leave the banner. What about it? It's highlighting, it's illuminating, it's promoting the Dubs, it's supporting our team, and it's great to do so. I don't know if Mannix goes to Hill 16 or goes to Croke Park when the Dubs are playing, but you wouldn't be very popular by asking to take down an Up the Dubs banner.
Okay, but one of the points, and I'll bring Mannix back in the conversation in a second, one of the points that he made was there are many other locations around Dublin for putting a banner like this. The Halfpenny Bridge should not be used for that purpose.
But look, there's loads of play. Have a look at Ballybock, Adrian, when we put the murals up last year. It has highlighted, it's transformed, and it's terrific. And there's tourists and people coming every day to take photographs. It's on the Halfpenny Bridge. It's not damaging it. It's not interfering with the integrity. It goes up and it comes down. There's nobody there's no headstones over it. There's nobody really annoyed about it, apart from Mannix and Antoshka. And really and truly, I'm a Dublin supporter. I'm sure Mannix is.
He's already said he is. Let me bring Mannix back in again. Mannix, firstly, there are more important things to be dealing with, and it's doing no harm whatsoever.
Well, look, we deal with all the issues in the City Council, and we deal with important issues. And the fact that we have this on the agenda today, and we're dealing with it on the national radios, doesn't indicate that we are not actually doing our job in relation to people on trolleys or homeless individuals. This is not about the Dubs. It's not about the team. This is about a banner across an iconic structure. So, I'm a big supporter of the Dubs. And as I say, this is not about that. This is about, a banner, whatever kind of a banner there is. This happens to be supporting the Dublin team, but it's a banner across an iconic bridge that basically makes that bridge invisible. This is tacky, is what this is. And no one can take a photograph on that particular bridge. And I respect the Dublin supporters, entirely respect the Dublin supporters, but they also have to respect the integrity of the bridge and the integrity of the national monument.
As Christy said, it's not affecting in any way the integrity of the bridge, because it'll be coming back down again.
It completely isn't affected, because it vanishes the bridge. You cannot see the bridge. Would you do this? Would you wrap a plastic banner around Dáil Éireann? Would you wrap a plastic banner around the Bank of Ireland? Would you wrap a plastic banner around Trinity College? No, you wouldn't. wouldn't. And would you leave it up there, like, you know, inappropriately? Absolutely not. You wouldn't do this. As I said, there are plenty of places for a banner of this nature to be there. And this is Dublin City Council supporting the Dublin team. And I just think they need to be much more imaginative to do this. I'm 100% behind the Dublin team, 100% behind the GAA. They do fantastic work. But I don't think that this kind of advertisement from Dublin City Council, by the way, this is not the GAA or the fans, this is Dublin City Council made a terrible error here. This is not, you know, delivered by the fans.
Sorry, Mannix, is it that this one, unlike previous banners that have been on the Halfpenny Bridge, is actually a lot larger than previous ones, in that it takes up the whole bridge?
No, it was the same size, and there was complaints back then, but the banner was taken down rather quickly. Now it's been left lying up there for quite some time, so this made the whole situation more irate. And I'm not the only person that would object to this situation. Like, it's not just, we're not in isolation, myself and Natasha and the Dublin Civic Trust. Many people would complain to me about this, and we would try and deal with this without the glare of the media. It so happened that over the weekend it got into the glare of the media. But this is an ongoing issue within the city where such banners are placed up onto protected structures and buildings, and Dublin City Council are obliged to take them down. In this instance, Dublin City Council breaches its own rules and regulations and sticks this tacky plastic banner up on a beautiful bridge and brings everybody into disrepute. And again, I say I complete support to Dubs. This thing is not about supporting the Dubs or about demonising the Dubs. This is about a simple tacky banner that's been strung across an absolutely beautiful bridge.
Okay, Christy, this is
a visual pollutant as well.
Yeah, Christy, this is a tacky banner across a beautiful bridge.
Well, look, here's the story. I'm proposing that we put it back up if Dublin reach the All-Ireland final. It's not tacky. It's out there.
It's a tacky, Christy, you know and I know. It's a tacky bridge. It's a tacky bridge. And you're completely out of step and jumping on the bandwagon and trying to make this out to be an attack on the Dubs.
Sorry, hang on. I can't hear both of you. Sorry, Christy.
It's not about the Dubs.
Okay, hang on, Mannix, for 1 second. Christy, make the point you were trying to make there. Go on.
Yeah, Adrian Mannix is having his airtime as usual, and now he wants to interrupt me. Well, he won't be doing that. Now, let me tell you this. I will be supporting the continuation of that banner on the Halfpenny Bridge, along with the Dublin supporters. And if you want to really be democratic about it, carry out a plebiscite and you'll get your answer, Mannix.
Okay, Mannix, let me just deal with that.
It's an ignorant banner on an iconic structure which breaches
Okay, let me put this to you. And in fact, we're going to be running an opinion poll in a couple of minutes to find out whether people support it or not.
But it's not about people. This is about a breach of the law. You can't have a situation, and this is not an attack on the Dubs.
Well,
this is not about the
jail,
Dubs.
Mannix. We're breaking the law.
You're always on the way to jail, Christy. You're always on the way to jail or the way out of jail. You're a hero. You just stop talking nonsense and talk some sense. Talk sense,
Mannix, I'm not moaning over the banner.
Listen, Christy, talk sense.
Get a lunch and up
talk sense, Christy. You're talking now crap and nonsense. You've been talking nonsense for years, Christy.
The Lord Mayor of Dublin
supports.
The Lord Mayor of Dublin supports that we leave it there.
Lord Mayors of Dublin, Christy, and they wouldn't damage a bridge like this.
Okay, but hang on, Mannix, the bridge hasn't been damaged. Let's make that perfectly clear.
Because it becomes a visual pollutant when you string across a tacky plastic banner across it. It becomes damaged. It becomes invisible.
Okay, if this were a permanent thing, I think people would understand and would agree with you, but it's not. It's there for a week.
This is tacky plastic.
Exactly.
Across an
iconic
structure, and it's wrong. Would you string such a banner around the Garden of Remembrance? You would not. So here's what you have. You have a situation here where Dublin City Council is in breach of its own law. And again, I'd say, Adrian, this is no disrespect to the fans of Dublin football team. It's no disrespect to the team itself with the GAA. This is just simply wrong. And unfortunately, it's brought the Dubs into a disrepute because of the certain comments.
I don't see how it has brought the Dubs into disrepute.
Well, because basically what's happening here, he's trying to make it out to be a fan situation. He's trying to, Christy Burke is trying to make it out to be an attack on the Dubs when it's not. We're trying to protect the bridge. We're trying to protect the bridge. It's not an attack on the Dubs.
It's an attack on the Dubs.
It's not an attack on the Dubs. Go back to school and learn about culture and about iconic structures. What you need to do. It's not an attack.
Mannix,
okay, Christy, it's not
the answer to everything, but the solution to nothing on this one.
There you go again, personalising the situation, Christy. I mean, really, cop on.
Mannix, You're the leader of the independent group. If you push to the group tonight, 99% of them would support the banner.
The banner.
Okay, Mannix, you will. No, this banner was due to come down last week. It most likely will be taken down today or tomorrow.
It's down already.
It is gone down. Yeah, it is down. Yeah, okay.
The City Council realised their error. That's why they took it.
No, the league game is over, Mannix. We beat Galway last Sunday.
The City Council. That's all fantastic news, and I love it. And I love the Dubs, but the banner I don't love. End of story.
Okay, so hang on for 1 second, Christy. You said a couple of minutes ago that should Dublin reach the All Ireland final again this year, you will be proposing that banner be put back up again.
I told the city manager this morning I'd like to see it back up if we reach the All Ireland final.
But you will be objecting to it, Mannix?
Absolutely, yeah. Without question.
Connor, you're on Dublin's 98 FM. Hiya, Connor.
How you doing, Adrian?
Connor, what do you think of the use of the Halfpenny Bridge for displaying banners supporting the Dubs?
Oh, as a Dub, 110% behind it. I don't understand what the Mannix Flynn is on about. To me, he's like a victim elder. I mean, for the council to come on the radio and start moaning and giving out about a banner going across the bridge. I mean, sure, there's more pressing issues that he could be dealing with.
And we've already put that to him, that there are more important issues. But
I didn't say I've been off your phone. I'm in work, so I haven't been listening to the last few callers, you know.
Okay, but what Mannix Flynn is basically saying is that it is an inappropriate use of an iconic structure like the Halfpenny Bridge. That people visit Dublin to see the Halfpenny Bridge, to take photographs of it, blah, 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 and sure they can't when there's a big banner right across it.
Well, I think there's banners all over the country. Any time that the country teams are playing in Croke Park, I mean, there's banners all across motorways and all that, and they're left up there for months. You know what I mean? And there's actually still banners around the country that are still up there. They're up there months. Mannix just want to go get a life himself. He's the same even at Apollo House. He's slated the good work that was done on Apollo House. He's just a victim elder.
So you obviously believe that it should be put back up should Dublin reach the All Ireland final this year?
Absolutely, it should be on and put up. I mean, if you go down. If Mannix, I don't know whether you're familiar with Ballybock, go down to Ballybock and look at all the murals around the wall, the permanent murals around the wall down there.
They actually look great. Yeah, they look great.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. It's ludicrous that you have a councillor wasting his time to go on the radio and moan about a bloody banner, and he's supposed to be a Dub himself.
The point he's making, though, is there are many other locations we could use, but not the Halfpenny Bridge.
The more the better. Put them up all over the city.
Okay, stay there for 1 second. Our telephone number is 6797 981. You can text or WhatsApp us on 0877 98 98 98. I want to run a Dublin Talks text poll. And here is the question, and we will pass the results of this poll on to both of our councillor friends who were on there a couple of minutes ago, Mannix Flynn and Christy Burke. Here is the question. That banner is now down off the Halfpenny Bridge, okay? It was meant to come down last week. But here's the question we want to ask. Should Dublin City Council put this banner back up on the Halfpenny Bridge should Dublin reach the All-Ireland final this year? I want you to text the word yes or the word no to 0877 98 98 98. So the question once again is, should Dublin reach the All-Ireland final again this year, should Dublin City Council put that banner back up on the Halfpenny Bridge? Text yes or no to 0877 98 98 98. Okay, simple as that. Text yes or no to 0877 98 98 98. Councillor Christy Burke claimed that if there were a vote on this, the majority of people would be in favour of the Halfpenny Bridge being used like this. And that's what we want to find out. So text the word yes or the word no to 0877 98 98 98. Should Dublin reach the All-Ireland final again this year, should Dublin City Council put that banner back up on the Halfpenny Bridge? That's all I want you to answer. Yes or no to 0877 98 98 98. And if you've never voted in one of our text polls before, please do, because we will pass it on to the City Council who are meeting later on today to debate this. And we'll let them know what public opinion is. Laura, you're on 98 FM. Hiya, Laura.
Hi, Adrian. How are you?
Laura, you agree with Councillor Mannix Flynn that this is an inappropriate use of the Halfpenny Bridge?
I agree with him to an extent. I think he's right in saying that having it up for a week is way too long. I think maybe the weekend before a big game is fine. But I think the Halfpenny Bridge is one of the most iconic structures we have in the city. And I work in tourism, and in every city tour, for every tourist that would come over, the Halfpenny Bridge is always featured. So I think...
And when you say featured, in that it's a stop for people to take photographs and everything else?
Yeah, exactly. And, tour guides talk about it. And, it is one of the most beautiful structures we have, I think, in the city.
I know, so but when the Dubs banner is on the Halfpenny Bridge, sure, the tour guide just has to explain that goes up every now and again when the Dublin team do really well.
Totally. But if you went to New York for the very first time and the Statue of Liberty was covered with a banner saying, "Up the Yankees," and you couldn't see it properly, would you not be a bit disappointed that you couldn't get the picture?
Perhaps, yes.
My point is, I think the weekend of the game is fine, because usually people come here and they're here for more than a weekend. But I think if you're here for a week and that banner is up for the whole week, I think it's too long. And I think, I'm not opposed to a banner going up. There's so many other bridges in the city that they could put a banner up on and leave it up for as long as they want, and it's not going to interfere with anybody. And actually, I'm just after driving down the quays, and I was listening to you as I was driving in, and I counted approximately 20 people standing around the bridge just now on a Monday morning taking photographs of it. So it's not that I'm opposed to a banner going up. I just think on such an iconic structure like the Halfpenny Bridge, having it up for a week after the game, it's not even in the lead up to the game, it's after the game, I think it's not right. Okay,
but Conor, what do you say to that? That, it is, and she's right in saying, Laura's right in saying that, when people come to Dublin, you see them from O'Connell Bridge taking photographs of the Halfpenny Bridge. It's one of those things you take photographs of when you visit Dublin, and it's kind of ruined by this banner, or these banners.
Well, Adrian, come here, you can't make an omelet without breaking an egg. There's two types of people in this world, the ones that moan and the ones that don't moan. And fair play to that girl. I drove a taxi for a number of years in the Dublin city centre, and not once have I ever seen 20 people stood at the Halfpenny Bridge taking photographs. I'm sure you haven't either. You probably, but have you seen have you seen 20 people on a Monday morning taking photographs at Halfpenny Bridge? I've never seen it.
No. I'm not in the city centre on a Monday morning.
Fair play to her for driving and counting the amount of heads as well. Very observant.
Okay,
Adrian, listen, Adrian.
Yeah, go on.
Adrian, I have to go because I'm actually in work at the moment.
All right, good man. Thanks. Okay, bye. Sorry, Laura, say that again.
I was going to say, first of all, I said approximately 20 people. I obviously didn't stand there and count them, but there's 4 sides to a bridge, 2 sides on each side of the river, and there was about 4 or 5 people on either side, and you can glance that. So it's not that was an outrageous number to make. What I'm saying is, and that's not even including the people who are on other bridges taking pictures. It is an iconic feature of the city, and it's one of the few really iconic features that we have internationally. It's one of the things that is always used. It's one of the photographs that's always used in promoting the city. And I think for the weekend of a game, it's fine to have it. But if they're going to leave it up for so long, then I think it should be put up somewhere else where it can be left up and it's not going to upset anybody.
And like you said, people do take photographs of it. I'm just actually, as I'm talking to you, looking at my own phone, and in my own phone I have about 10 different pictures that I've taken of the Halfpenny Bridge over the last couple of years. So yes, I agree with you, but one of the pictures that I took of the Halfpenny Bridge would have been back in 2013, and it was a photograph of Up the Dubs, Dublin City supporting the Dubs, which was up back in 2013. So I just don't see how having it up for, maybe it was left up a bit too long this time. But you're, when you're visiting Dublin, you want to see Dublin, and if you're a tourist visiting Dublin, you'll be happy to see that, will you not?
Well, think of it. If the shoe was on the other foot, if you went to somewhere that you'd never been before, and there was a landmark in that city that you'd heard about and you'd seen pictures of, and you wanted to get your photograph on it. And then you came there and there was a big banner of a local team and you couldn't get a proper picture of it. And if you had saved up to come to the city, or this was your one big holiday a year, and there's obviously only a few certain highlights in the city where you really want to get a picture. And if it was covered in a banner for a whole week, so fair enough if you go there for a weekend and it was there and then you can come back a few days later. But if it was covered up for a whole week and you couldn't get your photograph, would you not be a little disappointed?
Perhaps. Okay, stay there for 1 second. Andrew, if you visit Dublin and you want to get a photograph of the Halfpenny Bridge, you'd be very disappointed if it was covered in a Up the Dubs banner for a whole week.
I probably would be, yeah, but you're not just coming to Dublin. You don't just fly all the way to Dublin just to take a picture of a bridge.
No, you probably don't.
It's part of a tour maybe, so you take a picture of it. There's plenty of other places to see. Fair enough, there's a banner on it. But Dublin City Council supporting the Dubs, I don't see anything wrong with that. I really don't.
Do you think that a mountain is being made out of a molehill here?
Definitely. And Mannix, he's given out about the banner being up on it, but if there was an election on or something, we'd have to look at banners and posters all over Dublin for weeks with his face on it and stuff.
You may have to, yes.
Where would the problem be with that? He wouldn't have a problem with that at all because he'd want to get elected. But he has a problem with a banner that's up for a week. Give me a break.
I agree with you on that point as well. And I think the election posters are an even bigger eyesore. But the election posters are put up on lampposts, typically. They're not put up... Yeah, but
lampposts on streets that you're walking, iconic streets in Dublin that you're walking down, you don't want to be looking at that.
No, you don't. And I don't...
The same thing, and they're up for weeks, and you don't hear people moaning about them.
I think the posters are an absolute waste of money. They're a waste of people's time. They're a waste of everything. I don't think there's any benefit in those election posters. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I think there's so many other structures or so many other places where they could put up a banner, and I'm not opposed to a banner being put up, and I'm totally not opposed to the city getting behind their team. Like, as I said, I'm from Dublin myself. I support the Dubs. But where I think is if a banner is going to be placed up for so long, just even move it to the next bridge down, to the Millennium Bridge or whatever the next bridge down is, and let it stay up there. And then it can stay up there all summer and not upset anybody. But it's the fact that the Halfpenny Bridge is such an iconic structure when it's completely
But maybe
covered.
That's why it's done. Because it's such an iconic structure that everybody comes to see it, and you see this banner up the Dubs, and it's nice to see that your city is following the Gaelic team. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, but as somebody just texted in a second ago, if I went to Paris and there was an Allez les Bleus banner covering the Eiffel Tower, I wouldn't be happy. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't.
True.
If you have people, as you're saying, people are coming to see the Halfpenny Bridge, and it's nice to have the banner there so they see the banner. Put it on the next bridge down, because if they're coming to see the Halfpenny Bridge, they'll still see the banner. So then they're getting the best of both worlds.
All right.
Yeah, no. It should be put up maybe just for the weekend that the game is on, and then taken down again. Maybe
All right, stay there for a second. Let me just bring in one last call, and then I'll give you the results of our poll where we were asking you if Dublin reached the All-Ireland final again this year, should the City Council put that banner back up again? Sarah, you're on 98FM. How are you? Oh, Siraj. Sorry, Siraj. How are you?
How you doing? How are things?
Good, thank you. What did you want to say?
No, I just think I agree with that lady. I just think I'm a big, huge Dubs fan kind of before I got started, but I think it should be just up literally for a weekend, and then that's it. I've also sent in a photograph to yourself. I don't know if you can see yourself or not, Adrian.
Let me see. I'll try and find it now. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, but basically, that's the photograph I've actually taken of the Halfpenny Bridge as I was walking by of a quiet winter's night when the sun was setting, and there's a beautiful photograph as well of it, of me taking of the Halfpenny Bridge. Do you know what I mean?
Ah, yes, I see it. Yes, I see your photograph. Lovely picture, actually. In fact, I have one in my own phone almost identical to that picture. The point being, we all love the Halfpenny Bridge, and we all love to take photographs of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like even when festivals or whenever Paddy's Day coming up and whatnot, or even in and we have our parades up on the lampposts all the way down the quays, they actually have little small banners that they can actually put up high on the lampposts. And maybe we can even put them onto them as well, rather than just kind of robbing away from the Halfpenny Bridge.
Okay, so you have no problem with banners being put up in support of the Dubs, but maybe not on the Halfpenny Bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We ran a Dublin Talks text poll where we asked you, should Dublin reach the All-Ireland final in September? Should the City Council put that banner back up on the Halfpenny Bridge? It's been taken down now, but should they put it back up again? 75% of you said yes. 75% said yes. 25% of you saying no. So in terms of opinion polling, that's a fairly sizable majority in favour of it being put back up again. Maybe, perhaps, not for so long. And I think the reason there's controversy this time is that whoever's responsible didn't take it down last week. It was meant to come down last week. The league final was long since over and it should have been taken down, but it wasn't. And maybe that's what's led to people even noticing it. Should it be put back up in September? Should we reach the All-Ireland final? 75% of you have said yes. This is 98FM's Dublin Talks.
98FM. This is 98FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
Weekdays from 10 a.m. on 98FM.